guys, and welcome back to Tutorbox in conjunction with the COVID-19 catch-up courses. So we're going to start our second lesson. I really hope the first one you actually learned something. But today we're going to go on with the session 2. Those of you who've only started watching now, I am MJ. I'm going to be your Afrikaans tutor. There's definitely one session that you missed, but there will be reruns. So don't stress. You can just complete this one. I really hope all you guys are well and safe, especially during this time, and that you're actually coping with the lockdown. I think I get a little bit crazy, but at least I have online tutoring just to keep me sane through this. Okay, but let's not waste any time. Let's start with... Okay, so we're going to start with advertensie ontleding vir graad 10. Okay, so we're going to analyze an advertisement. Okay, so we're starting with the advertisement. So that is just how to answer the questions and how to, when you're reading an advertisement, what to look at and what is important. Okay, now we get die doel van 'n advertensie, the purpose of an advertisement. Let's see. 'n Advertensie het slegs een doel: om mense te oorreed om iets te doen wat hulle normaalweg nie sou doen nie. Byvoorbeeld om 'n produk te koop of om op te hou met 'n slegte gewoonte of om 'n byeenkoms by te woon. Okay. So advertisement is used to let the reader or kyker, whatever, do something that they would not normally do, like stop a bad habit, go to a show or something, or buy something. Okay, so it is used so that when you go to Pick n Pay and you see it just there, you're not going to buy it, but if you see the advertisement, you most probably will. Okay, so advertisement's very important because it makes you want this thing. Okay, without advertisement, you won't know about it. If you just walk in Pick n Pay and you see, the new coffee, you're not going to buy it. You're going to buy your usual coffee. Okay, but if you're at home sitting and it's e-movies and there's a break, and then you see this delicious coffee and I don't know, a famous person, Britney Spears, is drinking this, and you know this is the coffee for the best of the best, then you would want to buy it. Okay, so advertisement is used to convince you to buy something that you would not usually buy. Okay, hoe 'n advertensie aandag trek, okay? How an advertisement gets your attention. Now let's look at this advertisement. Turns out finger licking isn't good. Okay, so this is a Nando's advertisement. I love the advertisements. So they're actually advertising to wash your hands and don't touch your face and everything amidst the coronavirus. But they're also dissing KFC because KFC is finger licking good. So now they say, turns out finger licking isn't good. So rather reach for the soap. Okay, so they are very humoristies. Okay, advertensies trek gewoonlik 'n teikenleser se aandag deur een van of 'n kombinasie van die volgende te gebruik. Okay, so an advertisement usually gets the attention of the target group by doing one or a combination of the following. Die uitleg van die advertensie, met ander woorde, die grootte van die advertensie, die grafika wat gebruik is, lettertype en grootte kleur ensovoorts. Okay, so this is the pictures, the words, the font, is it big, small, and then the colors, then how big the advertisement itself is and everything. That is how they get your attention. Okay, so like this one, they used green isn't good. Okay, so that gets your attention first, and you see the different letter types and everything. Die gebruik van mooi, interessante mense en diere. Okay, so they use interesting or pretty people or animals. Like a dog, you'll always look at a dog. Then vindingryke slagsprekers, soos byvoorbeeld KFC se nuwe KitKat Crusher. Dis 'n mondvol. Okay. So they use slogans to get your attention. So finger licking, you know already it's KFC. Okay, so it's very important for advertisement to get your attention, especially if it's on a billboard or something while you're driving. It really needs to stand out for you to actually look up and try to read what they're saying. So they would use colors, the font, different fonts, how big they are, a big sign here, and then they also use interesting or beautiful people or animals or something just to get your attention at first. And then you would read what the content is. But firstly, they have to use colors and things just to get your initial attention. So, wanneer jy vrae beantwoord, okay? So when you answer questions, you have to think about the following. Wanneer jy 'n vraag oor 'n advertensie moet beantwoord, behoort jy oor die volgende te dink. Okay. So when you're going to answer questions about an advertisement, then you have to think about these things. Okay. Wat word geadverteer? Hoe weet jy dit? Okay. So what is being advertised in the first place and how do you know that? Wie is die teikenleser? Wie sal waarskynlik die advertensie lees? Wie sal waarskynlik die geadverteerde produk koop? Okay. So who is your target group? Okay. So every advertisement has a target group. So if I see an advertisement of diapers, I promise you a teenage girl isn't going to buy it. It's a mom. Okay, so a person with a child will buy this. Okay. Wat het die ontwerper van die advertensie gedoen om seker te maak dat die teikenleser se aandag trek? Kyk byvoorbeeld na die uitleg en die verskillende lettertipes wat gebruik is. Okay. So how did the person that made the advertisement made sure that the target group that it gets the target group's attention? Okay, so here you will look again at the colors, the background, the letter types, how big it is, etc. Watter tipe taal gebruik die ontwerpers en hoekom gebruik hulle sekere woorde? Okay, so what type of language do they use, like words? Remember, if they give an advertisement that says super cool, I don't know. So if it says super cool, this is not made for older people. Okay, so that's made for a younger generation. They're trying to speak your language, your type of words that you would use. Okay, oortuig oorreed hierdie advertensie jou om tot aksie te gaan of nie. Motiveer. Okay, so is this advertisement convincing you to buy this product or go to this event or whatever, or not, and motivate? So if yes, say yes because I really want to get my nails done in 10 minutes with this new product, or no, I don't think my nails need this, or something like that. Let op die effektiewe gebruik van leestekens om 'n sekere atmosfeer te skep, emosie op te wek. Okay. So look at the punctuation marks. So they would usually give you an atmosphere or emotion, because if there's a lot of exclamation marks and question marks and everything, so just check on that as well. Okay, so to ask yourself these questions are very important because it helps you to analyze the advertisement actually before you answer the questions. So you are active with the advertisement, and make yourself little notes on the side, underline, circle, whatever, just to tell you what is happening here. And as you read it, okay, I see the background. and that may be because of this. What draws attention? Who's the target group? What are they selling? Would you actually want to buy this? If you want to buy this, it's a good advertisement. Okay, so here's the advertisement now. Okay, so firstly, what you see is, of course, the people and then the little bear thing. Okay, so the girl looks very happy. She's inviting, and then the bear will most probably get children's attention. Okay, let's read above. Gratis getekende plakkaat saam met elke CD. Okay, so that gratis is in a different font and it's bigger. Okay, and then let's look at the other words. Besprekings. Okay, then there's their telephone number and email address, but it's a little bit bent. Okay, the same as super cool wiskunde is super cool. Okay, so firstly, just by the choice of words, super cool, you know that this is not for the parents. Okay, this is for the child. Okay, because the parent's not going to say this is super cool. Okay, then there's in a little bubble thing, there's the CD that they're trying to sell. And then it says SMS die woord Cammy en jou naam na 33903 en een van ons konsultante sal jou skakel. Elke SMS kos jou R1.50. Okay, so this is the advertisement. So they're trying to sell a CD for mathematics. Okay. Okay, so gratis is oorredingstaal. Okay, convincing language. Because if you see free, you know you want this because I want something that's free. Nothing in the world's free anymore. So if you can get it, you have to take it. So, gratis. That is your convincing language. Okay. So, gratis. So everyone, okay, now you have my attention. I'm going to get something free. Okay, let op verskillende lettertypes en groottes. Gebruik van uitroeptekens. Okay. So there they're using the exclamation marks and then the different fonts and the sizes. Let op daar die syfers in die agtergrond. Wat is die funksie daarvan? Okay. So there's letters at the background. Okay. So this is to get your attention to mathematics. Okay. So this is just a way to get your attention as well. Let op na die woordeskat. Okay. So yet again, super cool. That is for children, not for grown-ups. Wat trek die leser se aandag? Kyk na die lyfstaal en gesigsuitdrukkings. Geslaagdheid en doel van die advertensie. Okay. So, what would get your attention from this advertisement? Okay. So, firstly, look at the people. Okay. Yet again, she's smiling, she's inviting, she's pretty. So, firstly, you look at her, and then for the children, you look at the bear. Cammy matters. I can't read. Cammy is super cool or something like that. On his t-shirt. Okay, so he's showing a shop sign, so everything is happy and they're happy. So that would most probably be the first thing you look at. Okay, so that was just a short advertisement and how to analyze it a bit. You would get, I think, a bit harder, but it still says the same. And please use this information to when you're writing your own, when you have to write your own advertisement. You can look at these things as well. Okay, so to make colors and different sizes, font, and everything just to get the attention of the reader. Okay, guys, please take a little break now, do some exercises, and then when we come back, we're doing poetry. Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to start with poetry. Okay, so now we're going to poetry. Okay, so here's a few things that you have to know about poetry. Okay, so the first one, a vers is een versreel. Okay, so a vers is just one little sentence in a poem. Then, 'n strofe bestaan uit 'n aantal versreëls. Okay, so this is more likely a paragraph. It has a lot of versreëls. Then, this is what you call them. Okay, so if one paragraph has only 2 versreëls, you call it a couplet. 3 versreëls, tersine. 4 versreëls, kwatryn. 5 versreëls, quintet. 6 versreëls, sestet, en 8 versreëls is 'n oktaaf. Okay, so how this would look in exam is, all the time if you see a poem, they're going to ask you, how many versreëls and how many strophes? Remember, little lines for versreëls and then paragraphs for strophes. Okay, and then they can also ask you, in strophe 1, what type is it? Is it a couplet? Is it what? So learn that by heart. Then you just have to count how many versreëls there is, and then you know what type of name you should name it. Okay, now we get the rhyme. So, dit is die herhaling van eender se klanke. Okay, so it's the repetition of the same sound. So you get 2. You get halfrym en volrym. Okay, so let's see what's the difference. Halfrym, dit kom voor wanneer klanke binne die versreëls herhaal word, en volrym, dit kom voor wanneer woorde aan die einde van die versreëls rym. Okay, so halfrym is when words rhyme inside of the versreëls. Volrym is when only the last word in every versreël, they rhyme. Okay, by halfrym, you get alliterasie en assonansie. Okay, so that is halfrym. Alliterasie is die herhaling van dieselfde konsonant in 'n versreël. Okay, staan, skaars, skouer, hoog. So it is s, s, s. Okay, so that is the repetition of a consonant in the versreël. Okay, then number 2 is assonansie, die herhaling van dieselfde vokaal in 'n versreël. Okay, so this is the repetition of the same vowel inside of the versreël. Hy gaap en gaan dan slaap. A, a, a. Okay, do you see? It's the repetition of the A. And then, what is the function of the halfrym? Wat is die funksie van die halfrym? Dit is klanknabootsing, beklemtoning en skep atmosfeer. Okay. So now you know halfrym is inside of the versreëls, that it rhymes, and full rhyme is the last words. Now, there's different types of rhymes. They all have names, and that is only when the last one rhymes. Okay, so pa rhyme is a, b, b. Okay, so if it is the last word and the one underneath rhymes, and then underneath that is 2 more that rhymes. Okay. Omarmde rhyme is a, b, b, a. Kruisrym is a, b. Gebroke rhyme is a, b, c, d, a. Okay, so that one doesn't have a rhyme. There's isn't the second one that always rhymes, or the one at the bottom that rhymes. This one doesn't have a rhyme. Okay, en dan slagrym is a. Okay, so all of them are rhyming and they form a tempo. Okay, then they're always going to ask you, what type of rhyme is it? Is it full rhyme or half rhyme? Okay, so remember that half rhyme is when it rhymes inside of the versreëls. Okay, and full rhyme is when it's the last word. Okay, and remember, when it's half rhyme, you will always get assonansie and alliterasie. Okay, you have to learn that. What type of rhyme is inside of the versreëls? Okay, and then at full rhyme, there is different types of rhymes. Okay, so what it means is there's a line. Is this word and the word just after that rhyming, then it's AA, and then BB, CC. Okay, so the two directly under each other is rhyming. Okay, but there's others. If this one and skip one and this one rhymes, okay, so these two, okay, then you'd see it makes a little cross. Okay, so that is kruisrym. Okay, so you have to look at the lines, see. So start with line 1. Okay, I look at the last word. With what word is that one rhyming? Is it the one underneath? Is it the third one? What is it? And then you can determine what type. Okay, now we get to the title, die titel. Is dikwels die sleutel tot die inhoud van die gedig. Okay, so the heading, the title, is most likely the key to the information in the poem. Dit verklaar die inhoud, okay, so it tells you what's happening in the poem. En dit ondersteun die kern en vat die kerngedagtes saam, okay. So they are just getting the main ideas and then just putting them all together in the heading. Okay, so now you get an enjambement. Dit is wanneer een versreël sonder enige leestekens in die ander versreël oorgaan. Okay, so that is when one line or one sentence goes into another one without any like full stops or a comma or anything like that. Okay, so it's basically then one sentence, but it's in different lines. What is the function? Dit versag die rym, beïnvloed die tempo en ritme. Okay, so it makes the rhyme more soft, and then it takes on the tempo. So you can't read it, you're reading it much faster than you would if there was a full stop or a comma. Bevorder vloeiendheid en dui op beweging. Okay, so it show movement, so it's just flowing. Dit dien as bindmiddel tussen versreëls en strofes. Okay, so that it just means that they're combining the paragraphs and then the sentences. Okay, then you get wending. Dit is wanneer daar 'n verandering of omkeer in die gedig voorkom. Okay? Die teenstellende voegwoord maar dui dit dikwels aan. Okay, so that is when the writer says, so that is why people are nasty. But that maar, so he's going to justify what he just said or just say something the complete opposite. So they say that's why people are nasty, but we still love them. Okay, so he's just playing with two sentences. Okay, so if you look at a poem, always start with the title so that you know what's going to come. What are you going to read next? Okay, so the title will always tell you a little bit about what you're going to read inside of the poem. And then enjambement is very important. Always check. If you see a full stop, then you know. Okay, that was one sentence. Now it's the next one. Okay, enjambement is when two sentences are joined without a full stop or a comma or something. So it would be two lines that just go on with each other without a stop, without a full stop or a comma. Okay, so you will just read na, 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 without taking a breath. Okay, so that is enjambement. Okay, learn that. Okay, now we get to beeldspraak. Okay, so there is a lot of things under beeldspraaks, but in the questions they would most likely just tell you what type of beeldspraak is in the poem. So the first one would be a metaphor, a metafoor. Stel twee sake wat met mekaar verband hou gelyk aan mekaar. Okay, so they taking two things and then just combining them that they are the same. Okay, but this words is not in when you use a metaphor. Soos, nes en net soos. Okay, so you don't use soos, nes en net soos. Okay, Byvoorbeeld, die meisie se spaghetti hare staan woes. Okay. So, they're taking her hair and spaghetti and they're making as if it's the same thing. But they're not using soos, nes of net soos. Okay. So they're saying she has spaghetti hair. Okay. But then you get a vergelyking. Okay. Twee sake word met mekaar vergelyk. Okay, yet again, two things are put together, but this time the words soos, nes en net soos must be there. Okay. Die meisie se hare lyk soos spaghetti. Okay. So the metaphor does not have soos, nes en net soos, but the vergelyking has soos, nes en net soos. Then you get personifikasie, personification. Okay. As daar menslike eienskappe aan natuurverskynsels, abstrakte en lewenslose dinge gegee word. Okay. So that is when human attributes or things that we can do is given to either a natural thing or lifeless things. Okay. Byvoorbeeld die rotse fluister. Okay. So a rock is singing. So humans can sing, okay, but a rock can't. So we're giving a lifeless thing a human attribute. Die honde lag vir mekaar. Okay, so the dogs are laughing at each other. Okay, so dogs can't laugh. Okay, but people can. Okay, so that is personification. Okay, so metafoor, vergelyking en personifikasie is all three part of beeldspraak. Okay, so they're not going to ask you, is there a metaphor in the poem? No, they're going to ask you what type of beeldspraak is there. You have to know that it's metaphor, vergelyking en personification. Okay, comparison. Okay, so remember the difference between a metaphor and a comparison is metaphor does not have soos, net soos of nes in, but the comparison has. But it still compares two things to each other, just without the word soos, and the other one has soos. Okay. And then personification is personal. Okay. It's things that we can do. We can breathe. But we can't say the rock had a fright. Because a rock can't have a fright. Why? It doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have feelings. Okay. So that is when you give personal attributes to a non-living thing, or you can do it to a dog. It can't laugh or something like that. Please learn that as well. Okay, now you get your thema, your theme of the poem. Kern van 'n gedig. Okay, so this is the core of a poem. Boodskap in die gedig. The theme is also the boodskap that the writer wants to give to you. Okay, then you get rhetoriese vraag. Okay, rhetorical questions. Those are also in poems a lot. Let's see what that is. Vraag waarop daar nie 'n antwoord verwag word nie. Okay, so this is questions that there aren't any answers to. Okay, so if I ask you a question and I don't actually want an answer, that is a rhetorical question. Okay, what is the doel? Om die leser te betrek en te laat dink. Okay, so this lets the reader feel part of the poem and then just let them think a bit. Okay, like, dink jy dit was vir my lekker? Okay, do you think I liked that? Nobody, I don't want someone to tell me yes, because I don't want to answer. Okay, then sintuiglike waarneming, that is your senses. Die digter skryf wat hy sien, hoor, ruik, voel en beleef. Okay, so the writer writes down what he sees, he hears, he smells, he feels, what he feels. Soms word meer as een sintuig gebruik om iets waar te neem. Okay, sometimes more than one sense is used to describe something. Okay, so these are the things that a good writer use in a poem just to keep their audience or the reader just to get their attention and keep their attention. Okay, so the theme of a poem is really important just to know what is the feel about it and what's going to happen and stuff like that. And then you get a rhetorical question. That's just to keep you interacting with this poem. Okay, you're going to think about it, because if someone said, ek is nie so lelike mens nie, or something like that, you're going to think about it. Okay, but was this person actually really mean? Or okay, so you're just interacting with the poem. And then a writer also uses their senses just to write the poem, and just to give you, the reader, just the chance to just make a picture in your head and just see exactly what this guy saw and felt and smelled. Okay, now we have the digvorme, your poetry forms. Vrye vers. Okay, so that's free verse. Okay, gedig waar die versreëls en strofes onreëlmatig is. Okay, so that is when the paragraphs and the sentences and everything is just whatever they want. They don't follow a specific rule. Then blanke vers, gedig sonder rhyme. Okay, so that is when there's a poem that does not have rhyme. Then 'n ballade, 'n verhaal in digvorm. Sterk gevoel soos liefde, jaloesie ensovoorts. Okay, so a ballade is when it is a story in a poem format. Okay, and it has a strong feelings like love, jealousy, etc. Then there's a volkslied, gevoel van vaderlandsliefde. Okay, so that is when it is your homeland or your country. Sonnet. Sonnet bestaan uit 14 versreëls. Okay, so always when you see 14 sentences in a poem, just know that it is a sonnet. Okay, so they're definitely going to ask you what type of poem this is in a whole. Okay, so you must know what is a vrye vers and what is the attributes about it that is in this poem. Okay, so then you must say it's a ballade or a sonnet or a vrye vers, but you have to know what each of them are to allocate it to a specific poem. Okay, now we're going to do a poem together. Okay, the poem is Waarom het die hoender? Okay, so firstly, we're going to read the poem. Okay, ons wou nog wensbeentjie trek, jy en ek, maar die hoender het ontsnap. Kyk, 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 elke beentjie op sy plek. Okay, so firstly, you're going to look at how many versreëls and strofes there is. Okay, you know a versreël is one little sentence or one line. Okay, and a strophe is one paragraph. Okay, so let's see. How many lines do you see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, but I don't see any full stops there. So that means that it is one strophe. It's one paragraph. So versreëls, there's 16, and strophe, there is 1. Okay, next. Now you look at how the poem looks like. Okay, so they are talking about a wishbone. Doesn't the poem look like a wishbone? Yes. Okay, so the typography, okay, how it looks like, it lyk soos 'n wensbeentjie. Okay, now you always start then with the heading. Waarom het die hoenders? Okay, the title says that it's going to be about chickens. Okay, now you look for rhyme. Okay, I don't, wou en wens doesn't rhyme. Chi en jy doesn't rhyme. Okay, so now we want something that rhymes with ek. Okay, wou, wens, chi, jy, ek, die, der, ontsnap, kyk. Okay, ek en kyk ends in the same sound, so they rhyme. Okay, kyk elke beentjie op sy plek. Okay, so now I see kyk, kyk, en plek. Okay, so there's only 3 that rhymes. Okay, so it's not AB, because AB, because the first and the third one doesn't rhyme, and the second and the fourth one doesn't rhyme. These ones aren't even near each other, so then we say that it is gebroke rhyme. Okay, so they're not following AB or AABB. Okay, so it's ABCDA. Okay, now I see. Okay, let's read it again. Ons wou nog wensbeentjie trek, jy en ek, maar die hoender het ontsnap. Kyk, kyk, kyk. Okay, that kyk, 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 okay, is a sound, right? So that is your klanknabootsing. Okay, that is when a sound is repeated. Okay, you're making as if you're reading the sound that a chicken would make. Okay, and then enjabement. Okay, if you can't remember what an enjabement is, go back, go read. Okay, die hele gedig is een sin. Okay, so the whole poem is one sentence because there's no full stop. Just as the same one, the first one, there's only one strophe, only one paragraph. The enjabement is only one sentence because I don't see any full stops. Okay, guys, that was it. I really hope that you understand the poetry because that was kind of the hardest one. But that's literally just going learning the terms and then just know what each of them means so that you can identify them in a poem. Okay, so every poem they're going to ask you almost all of these things. So please just go learn them. Please join the Q&A after this. And then ask me any questions, anything that you didn't understand, any suggestions that you might have, and then I'll see you in the Q&A.
It's not a matter of whether or not we can. Everybody can, but not everybody will. How to turn nothing into something. How tangible are ideas and imagination? Ideas that become so powerful in your mind and your consciousness, they seem real to you even before they become tangible. Imagination that is so strong that you can actually see it. You can actually see it. If somebody cannot see it when it is not here, then it will never be here. Start looking into the future of what you would like to accomplish, where you would like to go, the person you would like to be. Decide what you want and then act as if you already had it. And that is to believe that what you imagine is possible for you. So the first step is to imagine what's possible. Second step, to believe. Now here's the third step, and that is to go to work and make it real. You now go to work and make it a movement. You make it tangible. You make it viable. You breathe life into it, and then you construct it.
You have a lot to offer. The fact that you're still here means that your business is not through yet. People don't do what they know in life, but what they do is they operate within the context of the vision they have of themselves.
So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can. Make up your own rules. The rules on what is possible and impossible were made by people who had not tested the bounds of the possible by going beyond them.
You must change what's possible for you. You, and only you, are the subject that impacts the burning desire in your imagination. You are living and feeling as if your future dreams are a present fact.
Will it be easy? No. Will it be challenging? Yes.
So you got to prepare yourself. You've got to develop yourself. As long as you're breathing, you got some more work to do. There's something else for you to achieve. Guess what? You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes.
So now go and make interesting mistakes, make amazing mistakes, make glorious and fantastic mistakes. Break rules, leave the world more interesting for your being here. Make good art.
It is possible to start with nothing and become something.